Yeah, you're not wrong, but it's still it. But it is very, very odd why all this is happening.
It is. It's definitely odd.
Like, I talk about odd. I still don't understand why the fucking Bellas are going after the title.
Ryan, Gunther doing a favor for Heyman gets him a match with Brock.
Everything's
Well,
odd now.
Ryan, your comment makes total sense, but there was no. I don't know. The whole thing just makes no fucking sense to me.
Look, that should have Gunther and Brock should have been at WrestleMania this year. Not that I'm not excited for the Brock Oba. Don't get me wrong on that, because I am so fucking pumped for that match.
I'm more excited for that match than any match.
Any match there, exactly. Hell yeah.
Yep.
But if we're, like you said, if we're gonna do this, there needed to be a reason why Gunther and Seth were having this altercation. Gunther Brock would have made so much more sense, because you could have had Gunther in the spot that Oba's in.
Yeah, but you would have to imagine that they chose to go. I would be willing to bet the original plan was Gunther Brock, because we've been hammering that for so long.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody like Oba, who has gone from 0 to 60 in days,
yeah,
the momentum is there. How do you not book Oba Brock? They knew at the Rumble that was the money match.
Oh, absolutely.
But then the question is going to be, does Oba go over? And I got to tell you, the more and more weeks go on, I think Brock goes over. I think Oba takes a loss, and him losing to Brock does not hurt him.
Wait, you think Oba's losing?
I do. I think Brock is going to go over.
Everything seems more and more like he's going to lose.
So far, for the last 3 weeks, Oba has gotten over on Brock. I think Brock winds up taking it. And I don't think it hurts Oba because it's Brock. It's not.
But Brock got over on Taker for weeks before the two of them met up at Mania, and Brock won that. You're going to put Oba Femi in his first ever WrestleMania and lose to Brock?
But now
I don't know that you have Brock lose. He's been punked out 3 weeks in a row. This is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but this is the problem. So now I think a lot of this, again, it has to do with injuries and stuff. We've got Gunther and Seth, and we've got Brock and Oba. And now they're already teasing that Gunther wants Brock Lesnar probably at SummerSlam. If Brock Lesnar's retiring at SummerSlam, he's not losing at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way the wrestling math works out. But he should. I mean, we've talked about this for literal weeks now. Brock should lose to Oba.
I'm still with Kat. I think there's no way that he could lose. There's no way Oba Femi could lose this match.
I hope not.
I don't see it happening. It's just, I think it's a mistake based on the rules we've seen of the law of wrestling, right? The unwritten law. Like, when you're that hot, and they're putting so much into it, and they're already paying Brock Lesnar a reported $1 million, 7 figures for this one showing of WrestleMania. He is gladly putting this kid over. There's no way I don't see him going over.
What the fuck was that?
No, I'm trying to mess with this fucking camera. It's probably me. Yeah, dude. I listen. I agree. I think everything lines up. Brock Lesnar should put over Oba Femi, but now that they've introduced this Gunther wrinkle, I don't know. Throws the whole thing into question for me.
Do you think Gunther gets involved?
No, I think Braun Breaker or somebody gets involved in Seth's match so that Seth loses to Gunther, and then Oba loses to Brock. I don't know how. And then you have those two guys who are both off a big win, build up to a feud at SummerSlam. Like, isn't that how you would do? It would be weird if you had Gunther picking on Brock, who had just lost. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. David Rosca, Obafemi, Brock versus Gunther. I mean, it's not happening. It's we're too close now to Mania where they're going to do that. Plus, they're already doing Gunther Seth, so that's not happening. I mean, I'd like to see it, but it's not happening. Vince, your camera's doing some weird shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. Is it playing yet? Damn it. Okay, forget it.
So, I also have a question before we get back into Raw and SmackDown. So today they announced the card. They announced Saturday's lineup and Sunday's lineup. There's a little confusion that I have because they're saying that you can watch the first hour of night one on ESPN and then it switches over to the app. If I wanted to watch everything off ESPN Plus, can I? Or do I have to switch back and forth?
Sure, you can.
Have
Yes,
to-
yes. You could.
You don't have to do anything.
You're good.
Okay.
Oh, you have to do something.
One thing I also, talking about Oba Brock, based on the lineups and what they're telling us, they're going to be airing Brock Oba for free on ESPN at 6 o'clock, which is 3 o'clock Vegas time, which means Oba's entrance is not going to look as good as it normally does because it's going to be light out.
Yeah.
That's very true.
They did that with.
Suck.
Remember the match Undertaker wrestled against Bray Wyatt at that was it WrestleMania 32?
Two
maybe?
dark characters that should have dark entrances, and it was bright as hell out.
Yeah, it was like 5 PM, perfectly sunny. But
Perfect.
so I know, right? But yeah, I think Steve, what you're gonna, if you log on to ESPN Plus, you're probably just gonna be able to go to that feed and just watch the whole show from there. I can't imagine they would make you go to physical ESPN and then go to the app if you've already paid for the whole show.
Because I'll be pissed. I gotta do that shit.
No, because I think they want people to buy, they're putting it on ESPN to try and draw people in to buy the subscription now. So, once they've already got you, I think they're going to give you an easy way to watch it.
So I really want to jump over to Raw. Like I said, we'll do a lot of jumping around because there's just so much to talk about. But one thing I am very excited about is that it has been confirmed that Dirty Dom has brought the demon out of Finn.
Yes.
And Demon Balor's returning at Mania. And that is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's going to win, which is nice. Because usually when he's the demon, he fucking loses.
That's awesome. Yeah. Awesome news.
Yeah. That was a great promo.
Watch, Dom's going to break the top rope on purpose so he has a Roman 2.0 situation.
That would be so funny to reference. If Dom does that, just goes over and unhooks the turnbuckle. I do think, it's definitely set up where Dom doesn't have that IC title and they're not putting that AAA Megas title on the line. So he can definitely put Finn over. He doesn't lose any momentum. It's Dom. He could lose at this point. He could lose 1,000 times and nobody would care. So he's all good. And it's good for Balor to get him back in the singles mix. He's away from that group. He's the demon again. Some people were kind of complaining about the demon being promoted and should have been a surprise. And it's like, no, man, they need to sell tickets at this point. So if the demon is going to convince somebody to buy tickets to go see WrestleMania in 2 weeks, promote the fucking demon.
At this point, forget the tickets. At this point, you just want people to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm kind of torn on that one too because I kind of agree. Like, I think it should have been a surprise. Even though the promo was great,
right,
and the tease of it was great, showing the eye kind of changing into the demon form.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was very cool.
But I would have liked it to be a surprise. Like, you're waiting for Balor to come out, and you just start hearing the heartbeat. And then you're like, awesome. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been there are still some things that are okay to be a surprise.
Well, that's exactly what Dom's going to do since he was so oblivious after that promo that he has no idea what Demon Balor is.
No, but I mean for the crowd. Like, it would have been great as a shock. You know, because he has gone on record in the past to say the demon's gone, like he's not bringing it back. Well, you know, never say never in this business, as they say.
Maybe that was part of bringing it back, though, because he told people that. Maybe that was all a setup to get us all to believe he was never coming back. And boom, here he is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So very excited for the Demon. That's going to be great. All right, let's get into it. We got to talk about the Pipe Bomb 2.0.
Yes, sir.
Some are saying better than the first. Some are saying the best promo ever. I thought it was pretty even to the first Pipe Bomb that we ever got. I still think maybe the first one was even better. But that's not to take anything away from this Pipe Bomb, because our Savior, the voice of the voiceless, said out loud what I have been preaching on this fucking show for the last 6 months, and that is TKO, lower the fucking ticket prices, which was not scripted, went off the cuff. And it makes him look that much better as a face to say he's listening. He's speaking on our behalf. And rumor is, moving past Mania, they're talking about lowering ticket prices so that families can afford to go to this shit. You lower ticket prices now, number one, how many more people are actually going to go this short notice? Two, all the people that paid the top dollar are going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but what a promo. What a promo. It just was classic CM Punk. I loved everything about it. It was so good. When he went in on McAfee and everything else and talked about The Rock a lot, making me think maybe The Rock is going to show up, by the way. They did mention him in that promo like 4 times.
Yeah, but you know who else has been mentioned a lot by Cody and Punk and everybody else that in Vince the same McMahon? Breath? Yes.
Yeah.
McMahon.
Well, but it's more realistic that Rock shows up than Vince McMahon.
I know, but they're talking about him an awful lot for a guy that's supposedly not around.
Notice how Stephanie made it clear to say my grandfather, not my father.
Yes, I did notice that.
So, you know.
She didn't bring him up, Cody did. Yep.
Right. So, to me, it's more realistic that The Rock shows up to support Roman and the Samoans.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Vince McMahon's actually coming. But it's been interesting.
Well, there's a lot of people that think that he is. And I think you're crazy if you think. I just don't see how TKO brings him back.
And the people in Saudi Arabia think they're getting Yokozuna when they come. You know, people, stupid is as stupid does.
Oh, bro, if you think this WrestleMania is bad, wait until next year. Holy
my
shit.
God.
It's going to be like senior PGA. They're going to bring back Duke the Dumpster Josie and...
Well, let's see what's happening.
They're going to dig up the fucking earthquake. Like,
listen, the reality is, let's wait and see what's happening in the Middle East by then, because
you ain't
if things are the way it is now, they may not do Mania there next
year. They're going to have Fred Ottman and Otis out there as the new natural disasters. You know, it's going to be. You know what? I'm not hoping for a war, but I'm hoping things are sour enough where we don't have a Saudi Mania next year. My personal pick is New Orleans, because New Orleans was supposed to be this year, and
they got screwed.
Everybody, I haven't bought a ticket, a T-shirt. I haven't spent a dime on the WWE since WrestleMania 36 was canceled right before the pandemic. Because I bought tickets to that it was supposed to be in Tampa.
Yeah,
and they got refunded. And then by the time the next WrestleMania came around, it didn't matter that I had tickets, that I had the refund, that I had the flight vouchers and all that other stuff, because it was now a 2-night WrestleMania. So that was a big change. And then, they started really jacking the prices up, and the prices that we paid for WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium are no longer the prices. They're way,
not
way,
even
way
close.
higher.
They're
and
like triple.
And it's 2 nights.
Yeah.
But I would consider going to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. I've been there twice for WrestleMania, the last 30 and 34. I think the city of New Orleans is a great tourist destination. I think that arena itself is in a good spot downtown in New Orleans.
It's in walking distance.
It's literally the hotel that I went to both times and would go to again is down the street. It is walking distance, and you're walking distance or a trolley ride or a cab ride or a bus from a lot of stuff, not just WrestleMania, but like Bourbon Street and all the other stuff, all the entertainment and the food and the Jackson Square and all that shit. So there's a lot of stuff to do in New Orleans. Not that there's not a lot of stuff to do in Las Vegas, but I feel very strongly that New Orleans is a great spot for WrestleMania, and it should go back there.
Agreed.
Yep, I'm with it.
I mean, MetLife wouldn't be bad, but
well, listen, I would prefer MetLife just because there's no hotel, there's no flight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's less than an hour drive.
That would be great.
It'd be amazing. All right, Brock Oba. The only thing I hated from that segment is that they waited too long and most of it got cut off. I mean, from what I understand, most of the good shit happened after they went off the air and you had to watch clips on TikTok. But that match to me, I'm more excited for that than any other match. I just hope it doesn't disappoint. But I don't see how it could. I mean, the way Brock has been selling and putting Oba over is also another reason why I think Brock is going to go over at Mania. But I think it's going to be great, hard hitting. I know it's Mania.
Yeah.
What if it ends as a no contest?
No.
Like, what if they both knock each other out somehow?
It would have to be this, like a situation where the Big Show and Mark Henry, they do the superplex and the ring collapses, or they fight all the way up the ramp to the stage and they take a big bump off the stage, or like through.
You wouldn't be able to do a ring collapse because it's not the last match.
Right.
So.
Well, when is that match? You said the card got announced today.
I think it's the first. It's one of the first ones. It's either the first or the second match.
Opening on. So here, let's see. I have it. Where is it? So the first hour on Saturday is on ESPN2. Hour 1 on ESPN2, the two matches that are going to be free are going to be Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in the unsanctioned match, and Logan Paul and what's his face? Austin Theory versus the Usos. Oh, and ISO Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight.
Which is again stupid. We have no title defense at WrestleMania for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, why wouldn't the Usos just get a rematch? Why? Because you wanted to put ISO Speed in there?
They're in the pre-show.
Is they have no?
Well, it's not being considered the pre-show. They're saying the first hour of Mania is going to air on ESPN, but it's not considered the pre-show. The pre-show is before that.
Right, but if you're airing free wrestling matches at WrestleMania, that's a pre-show to the show that you got to pay for to see the rest if you don't already have a membership to ESPN Plus. So the tag team champions basically got pre-showed.
I would be willing to bet 98% of the people that are watching the free shit on ESPN already have a subscription and are wrestling.
I would agree with. I don't think it's 98%, but I would agree with you in that response or whatever. Like
90%. I mean, it's right. Like, who the fuck is going to tune in to watch? That I don't know.
Someone that can't afford the extra streaming channels, like who doesn't want? It's like if you don't want to pay for Paramount Plus, to pay for Hulu or pay for whatever.
I mean, I thought we were done with Peacock, and now they got these fucking Saturday night's main events things popping up again. Holy shit!
What is that about? Or then you have NXT Stand and Deliver on YouTube. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
have it in one fucking place. Why is it that everything is on Netflix overseas in one place? Right. But here, you got to have 5 different fucking subscriptions to watch everything.
And if you want to watch the AAA wrestling, you can only watch that on YouTube also as well. They never stream that on any of the other platforms.
Yeah. Which is a shame because the AAA shows happen to be very entertaining.
Oh, I love them. I absolutely love them. I was watching that shit beforehand or whatever, but now it's just even funnier, with even better, should say, with all the different realm of talent. But anyway, so Brock is the first match.
Well, I guess that's going to be, well, here, let's see. So here, WrestleMania 42 lineup, Saturday. Logan Paul, all right, we said that. Then match 2 is Gunther versus Rollins.
Yeah.
Number 3 is, well, I don't know if this is in order. This may not be in order. It looks like they're just telling you what matches are night 1 and which matches are night 2. So Cody, Randy is night 1. Stephanie, Liv Morgan, night 1. AJ, Becky Lynch, night 1. The Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag match with the Irresistible Forces, Bellas, Charlotte, Bliss, all them. That's going to be night 1. McIntyre fought 2, night 1. Gunther, Rollins, and Logan Paul. That's all night 1. Night 2 is Punk, Roman, Cargill, Ripley. The ladder match for the IC title. Sammy versus Trick. Brock versus Oba, and Finn versus Dominic.
If the show opens with Brock versus Oba, Brock's losing because that means he wants to go home. Because normally when he is when he's the first match out at WrestleMania, he normally loses.
Yep. No, I don't disagree. I think he's you're definitely right about that. But also, I mean, Jesus, like,
I mean, the reality is, if he's on first, whether he wins or loses, he can leave. So
that's true.
But then he's not doing anything else during the night.
What else is he supposed to be doing?
We just said before he was going to be interfering in something. Do you think someone, like Al said something?
I never. That Brock was going to interfere?
Brock.
No,
yeah.
I never.
He never said anything about Brock.
Maybe you said The Rock. I apologize.
No, he said Gunther.
Yeah, he said that.
Oh,
the
Gunther.
Rock was,
we talked about Gunther being involved somehow later on. Yeah.
Wrong big guy. Sorry.
But so I mean, listen, this show is fucking stacked. The IC ladder match is gonna. So here's one thing. All right, so you got Penta, you got Ray, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, J.D. McDonough, and Rusev. What name makes no sense? Thank you. Right.
One of these names is not like the other. One of these names just doesn't.
You've got all these guys that are going to fly around and do some amazing shit in this match, and then you got Rusev, the powerhouse.
Rusev's going to catch him. Rusev's going to catch him. That's what he's there to do. In case somebody falls.
It just seems very odd.
Don't forget, though, the last time that we said that about someone being put in a ladder match, Otis ended up winning in the Money in the Bank match. Just saying.
Oh, well, that's true, but I don't know. I could see Penta retaining in this one.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the young boy winning. The
Javon?
Yeah,
I would be totally okay with. I'm waiting for the spot fest from Javon and Penta. Those two specifically. Yeah. Well, though you can't take away from Dragon Lee, but it's going to be an exciting match. Let me ask this question now. Why is Carmelo not in this match with Trick and Sammy? Now, that could still happen. He can still weasel his way into the match. But how is that not an automatic? Quite frankly, you should have it a fatal 4-way, and you should throw, what's his name in there also? Dragunov. Because you have Sammy and Carmelo and Dragunov that carried that title all year and made it relevant.
Right.
And now you got Trick that's going to leave as champion, in my opinion. So they should all be in that match, but especially Carmelo. Carmelo had the best, most impressive run with that title, and it's a shame that he's not being considered. So I hope they correct that and they make it a triple threat.
I agree. I don't. I understand if your idea or your plan was to have a singles match for that title at WrestleMania with those two guys, and you build that way. That means Carmelo has to lose this title in like fucking December or at the Royal Rumble or something like that. You can't just take the title off a guy a couple weeks before Mania, make a whole new match that doesn't include him, and then have him lose on the SmackDown 2 weeks before the show.
Preach.
It doesn't give the audience the impression that you're confident in this guy. What you're telling the audience is we don't think Carmelo is good enough or big enough or whatever enough to be on WrestleMania, to the point where not only did he lose his title, he lost the rematch, so he has no chance at getting in. So what does that do for Carmelo? I understand this is Trick's big moment. What does that do for Carmelo? That's bullshit. I agree.
And Trick can still have that huge moment with Carmelo being involved.
In a triple threat match. Absolutely. It's garbage.
And listen, we still have time. So, based on how things went this week, maybe they still will add him into the match.
And guess what? And if that's what they're doing, to make us, the crowd, the fans, want Carmelo in it and have these conversations, I'm all about it. It was a great call to squeeze it till the end,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, too, is it me or have we had an insane amount of title changes leading into WrestleMania?
A lot.
Like, a lot. More so than usual. I mean, the Usos dropping the tag titles, so close to Mania was odd to me. Carmelo losing to Sami Zayn, odd to me.
Yeah.
You know what? The women's tag titles, well, they've had them, I guess, for a while. But
the Usos dropped those tag titles, and now the tag titles aren't being defended. So why the fuck did they why bother having him lose the tag? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
right?
I don't understand that either.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. I don't get that.
I mean, rule of thumb, every title should be represented at WrestleMania. Plain and simple.
Is the women U.S. title going to make it in? That might be the most relevant title we have right now. Overall.
I don't think it's being defended.
It's not, because this girl is like
only the women's IC and the women's world, but not the US
and the Universal Women's Universal.
Right.
Correct.
Right. The two world titles.
We don't even have Chelsea at WrestleMania.
Nope.
Oh, that's a good point. That's not either.
We don't have Asuka Io either.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy how many big names are not a part of Mania this year.
And we have two nights.
But that's just it tells you how stacked that locker room is, though, that you have two nights and you still can't get all the main players.
What was that?
You're cutting in and out. What'd you say?
Yes, we do.
Cat is delayed, I think.
Yeah, I think you're delayed.
Cat, I'm going to remove you.
Wait, did they not put...
Log yourself back in.
Yeah, log back in.
I think she was just coming back in. What?
Yeah, she was starting to come back into... Well, I don't know. Maybe she was coming back in a second. Cat, go out and come back. Okay, there she goes. Okay, she's definitely delayed because she just took her like 10 seconds to figure that out. That's fine. Yeah, Io and Asuka was teased this week. She challenged her, but it wasn't. Yeah. It didn't sound like WrestleMania. It sounded like leading up to or the Raw after. She didn't say we are having a match at WrestleMania. And they've already announced. I mean, ESPN put the cards out, so you're going to add more after ESPN already announced them what the matches are.
I mean,
they can.
You could.
You can. Yeah.
You could. I don't know that they will, but you could. So again, I mean, it's every match is a Mania quality match. It's just amazing to me that how we got here in a lot of ways just doesn't make any sense.
Well, look at all the injuries.
But you know what? And that's probably a very big part of it. The fact that they had a game plan and you had so many injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, the improvisation that they had to make was I mean, like I said before, like I really thought it was going to be a shit show at this point, and we'll be criticizing the card. Like, what's going on with this? But the questions are a little bit more like, all right, well, we got good matches, but how the hell did we get here? It's more like that.
Right, and that's the thing. It's not the matches themselves. It's that, and that they won't be good. It's that they don't make sense, or they're not built up well, and that the matches that should be built up well aren't being built up well. Like, the only men's main event program that's being built up well is Punk and Reigns.
Well, and Randy Cody.
Nah, they lost me a couple weeks ago.
I mean, you're adding hiccups in there, which we've addressed, but
Yeah.
it's still
No, I think
there at least was a story and a build to it.
There was, but it's also kind of backwards because, again, you're doing all this heel stuff. People want to see Randy win. People want to see the same way, regardless of John Cena being heel last year. They wanted to see John Cena win that 17th world title. They want to see Randy win number 15. They're cheering him. They're booing Cody. They're not booking things properly to get your babyface champion cheered and your heel challenger booed. So unless they're switching things at WrestleMania and we do a double turn, I just feel like once again they're sending Cody out there to get the response that he's not supposed to get at like 2 WrestleManias in a row and lose 2 WrestleManias in a row. So I mean, this all goes back to WrestleMania 40. This all goes back to WrestleMania 40. They didn't have a plan after Cody won that first title. He finished the story. They all took a big bow like it was a Broadway play. And then they're like, they didn't realize they had to wake up on Monday morning and book another year of Raw and SmackDown. They just didn't. And then they put this world title on Jey Uso, who now a year later is not even a factor in any world championship. It's been proven he's not a singles guy. He's back in the tag team. He's back in the bloodline. And you've got Gunther out there who shouldn't be losing, lost to Jay, and then went on the streak of retiring people, and now has to pretty much win against Seth, or else what did you do? You had him retire all those guys for fucking nothing. So there are these things that they've did in the past. And again, I'm not saying Cody's win wasn't the problem. It was the follow-up to Cody's win at WrestleMania 40. And then Jey Uso, I will, to my dying breath, I will say putting that title on Jey Uso, despite the pop it got, was a bad decision. In retrospect, not a good decision. It did nothing for nobody.
Nothing at all. It was as cheap as a pop as you can get. That's the definition of a cheap pop.
It's like Brutus the Barber Beefcake winning the world title at WrestleMania 9.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Like, we don't.
Oh my god, that's hard.
We're clipping.
Are you saying that Jey Uso is in the same caliber as Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
I'm saying that if Roman Reigns is Hulk Hogan, then the only logical conclusion is that Jey Uso is Ed Leslie. That's the logic I'm following.
Speaking of Brutus Beefcake, not that this has anything to do with Beefcake, but it makes me think of him. How are we feeling about this Netflix documentary about Hulk Hogan and his final interview? I'm personally super stoked. I thought Cole did a great, whether you like him or not kind of thing. Like, you got to understand that we wouldn't be where we are today without the guy. It looks like it's very well put together. I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's going to be really good, and it's his final interview. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I've seen. Go ahead, Al.
No, go ahead.
I've just seen a lot of stuff online about, it's Hulk Hogan. It doesn't matter. He lies in every interview. So it's just going to be another Hulk Hogan, kayfabe fest, which is fine. Because listen, I think Hulk will be way more open about a lot of things because he was 70-something years old and at the end of his run. So I think he'll be a little bit more forthcoming. The interesting thing is you've got what it seems like they're setting up in this documentary is Kevin Nash will be the guy that defends Hulk Hogan, and then Bret Hart is going to be the guy that doesn't. So I'm interested in seeing that. And go ahead.
And you also have Linda McMahon in there. Or not Linda McMahon, I'm sorry. Linda, right? Hogan.
Yeah, Linda Hogan.
Why the fuck would you put her in this documentary? Like,
because she knows she fucked up by leaving him. She said she still loves him. Those two should have. I understand they went through a lot of stuff, and I'm sure his new wife, Hulk Hogan's second wife, is lovely. They should have stayed together.
actually, I think he was on his third when he died.
Oh, Madonna me. Okay.
I think he was on his third.
Yeah.
Cat, we can't hear you.
But you use sign language, so I think you said 3.
There we go. Cat?
Well, I didn't know if I was going to be spacing again. That's why I just did that.
Oh. So, yeah, this was his third wife, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't kept count of his wives in a while.
Yeah, no, that's But yeah, what were you thinking about this one, Al?
Well, no. So the first thing I was going to say was a little joke. I was going to say I've never used the word stoked before, but I am definitely stoked about this also, Steve. I definitely want to watch it. And
You never heard stoked before?
No, I heard it. I said I'd never used it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use it for the first time. No, but I agree with you, right? I do feel like he's 70 something. He was 70 something. He don't give a fuck. So he's just gonna speak his mind a little bit more than what we used to. And we're gonna see a little bit more of Terry and less of the Hulkster, which is I want to see a little bit more of that. Because that's the real guy. You get to actually see who was behind the mask. So I'm intrigued, very intrigued.
I agree, because I think he, like I said, he's a little bit older. He didn't know it was his final interview, but I mean, he I think when you're on your way out, I think something tells you you're on your way out, and I think he knew this was his last shot to say something. And listen, despite whatever it is, it's so hard you can separate the performance from the performer, but it's hard to talk about the legacy of pro wrestling. Like, Chris Benoit is one thing. You can kind of talk around Chris Benoit's impact on wrestling if you want to. You can not mention him. The two guys you have to mention who are hard to talk about now are Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan. And I think Vince McMahon way, way worse than Hulk Hogan. I think Hogan obviously said some shit he shouldn't have said. And but I also think, like, I don't hold Hogan to the same criticism as Vince McMahon, just because the circumstances are different. They're not the same thing. I can't judge them.
Well, they're not. I mean, Hogan, for lack of a better term, was a racist.
Right.
And one of his biggest mistakes was thinking that time would heal without ever addressing it and actually formally apologizing.
Yes.
And then on the other hand, you have Vince, who apparently was sex trafficking amongst other things, allegedly. So 2 totally different things. You can't compare the two.
Right.
You know, I mean, but you can't talk about WrestleMania and not talk about either of those gentlemen, no matter what.
Precisely. And that's where, that's kind of where we are. It's an awkward, it's a weird thing, but it's a thing that we're going to have to figure out a way to talk about for the existence of the sport of pro wrestling. Because even 100 years from now, 200 years from now, when you look back at the big boom periods of wrestling, they're going to be like, Spaceman Rex in the year 35 was the best champion of all time. Then somebody's going to go, well, actually, back in 1985, there was this guy called Hulk Hogan, and they're going to have to go on their eye implants and whatever it is that replaces YouTube, and they're going to watch, brain videos of Hulk Hogan in 200 years from now. And we have to find a way to talk about it. That we put it up with an asterisk. Yes, Hulk Hogan was great, but Terry Bollea, not so much. Like, Vince McMahon. Listen, Vince McMahon, we knew a lot of things about the guy before these charges came out from Janelle Grant. We knew he was a fucking maniac. We knew that he did a lot of shady things behind the scenes to secure contracts and get things done. He screwed over WCW a bunch of times, threatening pay-per-view providers, all that jazz. And then it kind of trickled down from there with his personal life. And you always knew things weren't going well with Linda. He was on TV making out with Trish Stratus in like 2002. Like, you knew things weren't fucking cheery in that relationship. It couldn't have been. So, we're going to have to figure out a way when we talk about the origins of the WWF, the origins of WrestleMania, all the way. I mean, Vince McMahon was a character on TV until 2023. That was the last time he was on TV. So you got to talk about it. Like, we just have to figure out how we're going to do it.
You can't just erase the man who created WrestleMania. As much of a piece of shit as he is, he's our piece of shit that created WrestleMania. And, and then you got Hulk Hogan, where without him, there would not have been a WrestleMania. He was the draw.
He's our piece of shit.
He's our piece of shit.
Right, yeah.
He's our
kind of like MJF.
MJF is the king of our piece of shit.
That's
but
right.
we wouldn't love him as much if he wasn't a piece of shit.
No, I love that. And they got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend. It should be fun.
Well, and not only that, there is something else as we are reaching the top of the hour that we should address. And it looks like all the dirt sheets and everything we've been thinking did not happen. It didn't happen at Royal Rumble. It's definitely not happening at WrestleMania. But we did get the return of Chris Jericho to AEW. Coming out to Judas. So apparently he turned down WWE's offer, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I guess money talks.
And it could be another thing where they were like, hey, Chris, we'll sign you for a year or two, but then you're going to lose to Gunther and get retired. And he might be like, I don't want to be on that kind of timeline. So he might want to go out in his own terms and have his own stuff. We don't know.
He can always still come back anyway.
Oh, of course.
So
that's why they gave AJ Styles the Hall of Fame and the Legends contract the day he retired, because they knew Tony Khan would just back a Brinks truck up to Gainesville, Georgia, and Alan Jones would be a very, very rich man wrestling for AEW for like a year, but they didn't let that happen. Speaking of AEW, earlier today, if you want to listen to something very interesting, the Coach and Bro show, that is Jonathan Coachman and Vince Russo, actually had on Tony fucking Khan today. And Tony killed it. I think they tried to rile him up. He did a very good job. He mentioned Jericho. He didn't mention any details, like specific details, but he did say basically an offer was on the table from WWE. Jericho had the option to go either place, and he came back to AEW. So if you want to hear a very interesting interview between those guys, because they try and get some more details out of Tony Khan that some people don't get. Coach is an angry guy, dude. But he's got some feelings. He feels something about the WWE, the way he left there. He feels some way about Dave Meltzer. He said it a couple times. Oh, it's great. So yeah, worth a listen.
Most people feel some sort of way about Meltzer,
but it's just funny the way Coach talks about it. He's like, I never talk about him. And then Tony's like, no, I was listening to your show. You guys talked about Meltzer. And then Russo's like, no, I brought him up. And Coach is like, I never talk about Dave Meltzer. It's hilarious. So the Coach and Bro show with Tony Khan was this afternoon. You can go catch the replay.
Well, on that note, we have reached the top of the hour.
Yes, it is.
So just kind of throw this out there. Stay tuned for information. But we started a tradition on this show, WrestleMania weekend, and we will be announcing the time. But Sunday before night 2, we will have a recap show of night 1. And further details of timing and everything will be announced on social media. We'll have a banner and everything out there. So stay tuned for information on that.
Absolutely. And the best way to stay tuned for all that is follow us on social media at Tag Me A Date. You can go to Facebook or YouTube, Twitter/X, or Instagram by finding Tag Me A Date and hitting the follow button. If you want to watch the live stream, you hit Facebook up and you type Tag Me A Date in. You hit the thumbs up or the follow button, and the live stream will show up in your nudes feed. If you are on YouTube, type Tag Me A Date into the search bar. You'll find our channel. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when we're about to go live on a Tuesday night. If you follow us on Twitter or Instagram, you will see reels or shorts of the show the week prior. some little snippets of what we talked about to get you prepared for next week's show. If you want to go to TikTok, you type The War Report Podcast into your search. That's the easiest way to do it, The War Report Podcast. And hit that follow button on TikTok. And last but not least, if you prefer an audio version to the video version of your podcast, you can always go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Type in The War Report, type in Tag Me a Date. You'll see that lovely logo in the top right-hand corner of your screen. It will mention Steve, Vince, all the regulars in the description. Hit the subscribe button, and Steve or Ryan will grab the audio between Tuesday and Wednesday and upload it to the app. So as long as you're subscribed, you don't have to do anything else. It'll be delivered right to your phone so you can take it with you on the road or working out or whatever it is that you do throughout your day where you're listening to podcasts. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much. Leave a like or a comment or something on the way out. And we'll be back 9 p.m. next week Eastern time for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Have a great one.